Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop today. Today we got an exciting package for our 2019 Duramax. It is a package from our friends over at Dieselleds. So let's get over to the workbench and see what we got. So inside of the box you do get two packages. You get the actual lights themselves and then you get a hardware kit. That hardware kit has all kinds of goodies included from bulb connectors, dielectric grease, gaskets, Allen wrenches, screws, etc. So we'll get into the contents on this and let's take a closer look at these lights. So this is what your light looks like whenever you open it up. You do get two of those in there. And this thing is a beauty. This entire housing is a single piece of milled aluminum. So this entire body is all a single piece construction and everything is inside of there. Nice thick wire. They do give you a nice O-ring gasket to keep it out of the elements. But yeah, it looks really, really, really clean. So inside of the hardware kit, this is what you get. They do give you some nice pigtail connectors here, and these actually connect to the lights themselves. They are like a two-prong design, and they do have a little indent on both. Hopefully you can see that there. So that way you can't mess up the alignment. And they are a nice secure fit, as you can see there. And then they would just screw together. So that's nice and snug. It's going to keep all the water and moisture out. So they give you two of these. They do provide you with dielectric grease, which is great. So you can put that on the actual connector itself when putting it into the truck harness, once again for a watertight seal. Now something else, you don't need all of this stuff. They just include it to make sure that no matter what your application is, you can actually get the lights on, but they give you varying thicknesses of grommets. So you can get it as tight as you possibly can. Yeah, they actually also give you these collars. We're not going to use them on our particular application, but just for fitment purposes, you can put these collars in here, run your screws down. We actually won't need those on ours, but if you'll see, these are actually threaded on the actual housing itself, and these screws that they provide you with this little Allen key will actually, we'll put 3 screws in here, and then we'll actually line that up and we can put that on the truck. So it is really nice that they give you all of that nice hardware, and that is included when you purchase the lights. And LumX does give you a nice color instruction pamphlet to basically go over everything we just went over, full installation, the use of the dielectric grease, the grommets, all of it, you name it. So they've got everything covered here. Okay, we are 30 feet away, and these are the OEM reverse lights. You can see, not that impressive. That is the OEM backup light. It's not very bright. So this is reverse with the OEM bulbs, and there in your backup camera, it's kind of your view. Here's also a view of the OEM reverse lights from the rear of the truck. And other than the supplied Allen key that they give you, the only tool you need to do this job is a T15 Torx. I probably am going to cheat and use it in my little Milwaukee. You don't have to do this, just makes it a little quicker. Okay, so to remove the light, you just have two T15 Torx. We're going to pop those out. Okay, once you have your two T15 Torx removed, the only thing that you're going to do is actually pop this light rearward. And once you pop this light rearward, you're going to expose all of your wires in here, and let's get in there and take a look at it. The one thing I do like to do, because you're working on nice, expensive vehicles here, is I like to put a towel in between, just that way the actual tail light housing doesn't scratch the paint. This is our reverse light here. This is the actual OEM plug. You're going to turn that. It should pop out, and you'll have access to your OEM incandescent bulb, and at this time we can go ahead and pop that right out of its socket. Okay, so on our OEM reverse light plug here, there is a O-ring, and I'm actually going to reuse this, but this O-ring does pop right off, and we're going to reuse this with our new light. So we're going to look at the threads there, and you'll be able to see that in the body of this housing, all of these are threaded, if you can see on the screen there. So that'll allow us to position our Allen screws in any orientation to fit any application. Take this hardware out of the hardware kit. I'm going to use 3 screws per. If you look at the OEM unit, it actually looks like it has 4, but you don't need to use all of those. You can just use 2 or 3. I'm going to use 3, and these screws are super tiny, and they do give you a little tiny Allen wrench to go with it. Now this is aluminum, so you don't want to tighten these down very much. Just get them good and snug. And this is what the orientation of my screws look like. I just have one on the top here, one on each side. Here is that washer that we took off of the actual OEM unit. I want to put it on. And they recommend that you try it like this first to see how the fitment is. So let's check it out. So keep in mind, this is not an OEM unit. This is an aftermarket tail light. So the fitment might be a little bit different for you, but I don't have anything in here other than the... Okay, and that's loose. I can move it. So let's go look at some of those other supplied gaskets they have, and let's find the correct thickness for us. And that's the really nice thing about all of these additional grommets. They give you basically every variation you could potentially need to make sure that you get a nice watertight seal, including this ring. This is a milled aluminum ring, and it actually comes with the kit there. And they supply that. We won't need it in our particular application, but the diameter of this ring actually increases the surface area for an OEM housing that has a larger opening. So basically you would just take your light here, you would slide your milled aluminum collar right over top, and you can see how much it increases the actual surface area around that light. And then you just run your screws right in here. They all match up perfectly. You just run your screws right in, and then you can put your foam grommets on, or your OEM rubber, whatever you choose, just to make sure that you get the perfect fit. For test fitting everything in the vehicle, I found the best combination for me is going to be the medium thickness grommet that they provide you. You're going to want to go ahead and put that on first. I am going to use this in conjunction with the OEM rubber grommet. And in all cases, it's not necessary that you use the OEM grommet, but you're going to want to put that on the top if you are reusing it. And this is just the combination that offered me the best possible fit. Okay, so the next step is pretty self-explanatory. You'll see the T shape there in your actual taillight housing, and you should be able to take your bulb, and you'll see those screws inside of there, and then you will just rotate it, and those screws will hold it into place. We have a nice, really nice, secure, snug fit. It doesn't wiggle at all, so that's in there nice and good. And let's take a look at the position of the light. So as you can see, we have our LED in. You can see it there, and it is straight up and down this way, and that's going to give you the best light output. Let's continue getting the rest of this together. I actually installed this little pigtail connector here, and like I said, it does have a little detent inside, so you can't really mess it up. You just have to line those two up. Once they're lined up, you'll see you have that nice O-ring gasket in there, and we will take our connector here and screw it in place. And then we're ready to actually plug this into the harness on the vehicle. And one other little thing that they do is a nice touch is they give you dielectric grease. And that dielectric grease is for your actual connector here, the one that actually goes into the harness on the vehicle. So I'm going to put a little dab of dielectric grease on here, and let's get that put in. You don't need a lot. Should just be able to plug that right in to your OEM harness. All right, we have our new reverse light in. It's time to test it. If you do have a General Motors, you can hit the unlock button on your key fob. If you don't, a lot of other vehicles, you'll have to actually get in and put it in reverse. You can have somebody hop in the vehicle and do that for you, or if you are by yourself, you can turn your key to the on position, put it down in reverse, set your emergency brake, and hop out and check it. So we do have a GM, so let's hit that unlock button and see what it looks like. If you do hit the key, your unlock key, and it does not illuminate, all you have to do is pull that pigtail out, flip it around, and it should light up. So we can take our towel out and press your lights forward, and let's get our screws back in. Okay, so I'm in my garage. It's not completely dark, but I just want to give a quick comparison between the OEM and the LumX brand from Dieselleds. You can see there's your OEM, not super bright. And oh my goodness, that LumX light is bright. So a couple of things to mention. These do come with a 3-year warranty printed right there on the box. Something else I didn't mention is that, and you'll see whenever we light it up at night, these lights are extremely bright. It's literally a headlight chip inside of a reverse light bulb. They're 3,000 lumens per bulb. So there's 6,000 lumens of light output when you're backing up. And you'll see that in the backup camera, but these really light it up. Okay, we're at 30 feet away, approximately the same time. Here's the LumX reverse lights. Wow, those are bright. This is the view from the rear of the vehicle. Same time. It is really lit up back there. And just for comparison's sake, the OEM Toyota 4Runner headlights are on the left. It's from a 3rd gen. Versus the LumX reverse lights from Dieselleds. And you can see that those reverse lights are quite a bit brighter than my factory headlights in my 4Runner. Everybody, that is it for our LumX reverse light install. You can pick those up at Dieselleds.com, and that is the same brand as my high beam, low beam, and fogs that I already have on that Duramax, and I've been running those for about 2 years now. You can see that video. I'll post a link in the description. It's got about 25,000 views on it. I haven't had a single problem, and I expect the same great quality out of those reverse lights as well. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can hit me up at ScottLink_L5P on Instagram. As always, I appreciate everybody for watching. Until next time, thank you and take care.